What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. I've got a full schedule of news today, as well as we are launching the Publica and trying to reach our weekly goal there. So I really, really appreciate everyone's support. This is an interesting little Twitter file. It's been a while, right? It's been a while, Twitter file. This time it is Dr. Anthony Fauci, and a pretty spicy new reveal that's, well, I guess not that difficult to have expected, but interestingly enough, this is pretty wild. And again, mainstream media not covering it. So as always, absolutely love if you leave a like on it and share this video. We're also going to be covering it on the Publica, which is my new news platform. Where, yeah, it's, if you want to think of it like the Daily Wire, you can. I think we're better. We have a members-only Discord. We have 5 original shows coming, Dictated But Not Read, which is by me, FemK Ultra, which is Anna Slots, Lauren Southern, Up at 5, Community Notes, and more, many, many more. But we need your support. And this is, of course, we're powered by Rumble, too, so we've worked with Rumble on this. And our goal right now, for the day at least, is to sneak up to 10% of our overall goal. So if you support independent media, or even if you like back me as a Twitter member or on Subscribestar or on Locals, I really want to have just one spot for everybody to support to actually get away from YouTube. So check that out. I think you really love the content. Just uploaded a really cool Savannah Hernandez street interview that I think you're going to love too. Breaking: Fauci Files show collusion between Twitter and Big Pharma to silence the COOF dissent and boost the poke. The Fauci Files finally dropped on Twitter on Thursday after a promise from Elon Musk back in December. Musk had said that my pronouns are prosecute Fauci, which was a rallying cry from many GOP lawmakers in Congress. Fauci notably said he had no idea what Musk was talking about. He further said he didn't know how to use Twitter. This turns out to have been untrue. And Paul D. Thacker, former investigator for the U.S. Senate, brought the receipts straight to the Twitter files. This is via the Post Millennial, also a strong news outlet as well. Quote, Dr. Anthony Fauci did an account takeover for the WHO COOF response. This runs contrary to Fauci's public statement and sworn deposition given on November 23rd, 2022, Thacker revealed. That first takeover was in March 2021, and the second came in April that year. So to be clear, Fauci testified that he had no idea how to use Twitter because he's just a hapless old man who puts beagles in nets to have their face chewed off by bugs, allegedly. But that is untrue. He now lied under oath. Others in the COOF White House team working for the Biden administration, Dr. Rochelle Walensky and Andy Slavitt, undertook similar engagements on Twitter to answer 32 questions about the COOF and the response, generating over 4 million impressions. Fauci's presence at Twitter went far beyond facing pages of the site. Musk tweeted in December that employees at the big tech platform had an internal Slack channel dedicated to Fauci called the Fauci Fan Club. Thacker indicates that Fauci's perspectives were not taken as guidance, but dictated by the Twitter Club. An attorney who worked for Twitter and left amid the Musk takeover praised Fauci as the leading trusted voice about the COOF in the United States and was one of the attorneys he interfered with on the disinformation at Twitter, Thacker said. Fauci wasn't the only leading trusted voice that Twitter looked to for guidance as how to handle dissent on the COOF, mandates, dictates, and perspectives. They also partnered up with some big pharmaceutical companies that stood to gain the most profit from the poke mandates that so many Americans were railing against. If you don't remember, I do, our United States government was found to have many of the 3-letter agencies deeply embedded, not just in Twitter, but in Facebook and all around the world. And they weren't like worried about huge news outlets spreading what they called misinformation. They're worried about Joe's six-pack with 11 Twitter followers and a frog emoji as an icon. They were going after, individual Americans who had no real reach, but the FBI was very concerned about them. Also, many of these other think tanks, which were sponsored by the government, in my opinion, all of these things worked together to actually silence Americans' First Amendment rights. Twitter, Thacker writes, worked with those big pharma companies and the pharmacy chains to shape poke marketing campaigns. And in service to maintaining the right approach to the COOF, Twitter enacted a policy of removing tweets that contained so-called misinformation. Now, you remember that misinformation was basically anything that wasn't an exact verbatim repeat of what Fauci was saying or the NHS, NIS. That's if you even said, well, or if you could even, people were getting bad even talking about side effects. It happened here on YouTube, not on Rumble though, not on BitChute, not on Odyssey, but on YouTube. But it wasn't just silencing the dissenting Americans that Twitter took into its purview, but helping poke makers and pharmacies craft messages to encourage more people to get the poke, which began as 2 for the initial dose and spiraled into many more as everything continued, and the lack of the poke's efficacy became more apparent. I mean, this is a pretty big deal. And ultimately, I want to find this Twitter. So Paul Thacker, and this is the frustrating thing, right? This drops today. Okay. 250,000 views. Very, very good so far, but hardly any coverage. Hardly anybody's covering it. So he wrote, last Twitter files, Fauci Pharma Files. Last December, Elon Musk sent out the viral tweet about Fauci. Fauci went on Fox News and said he had no clue what Elon was talking about. A lot of people spouting a lot of things about me at Twitter. Fauci told Fox News, I've never had a Twitter account. I don't intend on having a Twitter account. And and here's the important part of the quote, I've had nothing to do with Twitter. So I don't know what they're talking about when they say that, except he did. Here, Fauci makes similar claims during multiple exchanges during a 7-hour deposition, where he denied using Twitter or even knowing how to access a tweet. But in an internal Twitter report in March 2021, the company revealed, quote, Dr. Anthony Fauci did an account takeover for this account. This runs contrary to Fauci's public statements and sworn deposition given on November 23rd, 2022. According to this tweet, Fauci took over the White House's COOF response account again in April 2021. Fauci was beloved by Twitter 1.0. Elon Musk tweeted last December that former employees had an internal Slack channel unironically called the Fauci Fan Club. Don't disagree with Fauci. Attorney Angela Shearer, who left when Musk sought to buy Twitter, praised Fauci as a leading trust voice. A lot of these people dipped because they knew that they would be revealed. That's what my opinion is. They knew that the other shoe was going to drop. They knew that they would be revealed, and they bailed. Right? Like that, they didn't want to get caught. They didn't want to get outed. They never thought that Elon would ever release these files. And we know, the updates to actually how Twitter worked directly with him is bad enough. The fact that Fauci lied under oath is no surprise to anybody who's been following this man. But on top of that, when you have Twitter working directly with the pharmacies and other companies profiting off of lockdowns, pokes, mandates, and then you have them working with pharmaceutical companies to maximize profit, it's really hard to just, I can hear so many of you in the replies already saying, no kidding, duh, I knew this. Sure. For me, I certainly suspected it, but I'd never really thought we'd have absolute evidence of it. You see, in this case, during that same time, Twitter began working with Johnson & Johnson on a marketing strategy and with CVS Pharmacy to promote approved narratives. Again, this is Twitter profiting directly from this. And then making sure that CVS spends their ad dollars on Twitter to promote it. None of these people can be sued, by the way. None of these people have any liability whatsoever for the things that they did, the things that they said. By summer of 2021, Johnson & Johnson began a full court press to market a ton of their products on Twitter, including a controversial antidepressant. Much thanks to Texas Lindsay, who helped collect and organize. Twitter Files will come and read more. Also added Harvard's Martin Kulldorff, who is suing the federal government for colluding with social media companies on censorship. Quote, Twitter should be a place for people to exchange ideas without censoring. Good for him. I think we're all, I think that many of us would agree that consequences are absolutely required. It's sad to see the way censorship is enacted as a way to increase profit, essentially. Like, we can't have anybody saying anything negative about the Pope because we're trying to buy millions of dollars in ads on Twitter. So Twitter says, okay, well, we'll censor them so you buy the ads. That's how that stuff works. Absolutely disgusting. If you appreciate the reporting and the hard work that I do, or if you back me anywhere else, I'm going all in on thepublica.com, which is an independent news website run by myself and Sydney Watson. You can see we have new articles every day here. We have our own original content, podcasts, videos. We have uploaded Savannah Hernandez video today that I think you're really going to love. I'm here with a hat in hand, hoping that you'll check out and join us. We're at 7.13% of the member goal. I want to finish the day at 10% if we can. You can use promo code THEQUARTER in one word to save 50% off your first month too, since the shows don't start for a few weeks. So hopefully you'll sign up today, support independent media. We're powered by Rumble, and we'll talk to you again real soon.